Lulu's Choice just with its head in front. Adaboom on the fence tries to respond. It's Lulu's Choice just clinging on. I think it's scrambled in.
Yeah, great result with Lulu's Choice. She's been knocking on the door for a long time. Geez, you wouldn't want the race over again, would you? She only fell in. Interesting, you know, you look at jockeys like, say, Nathan Punch, who rode that horse, is you know, you don't really rate him up with the top jockeys, but you watch that ride and, you know, he found a good spot, then the horse was going to win, and he needed to find a half a length. He put the stick over the left hand, put the stick over the right hand, then went back to hands and heels. Like, that's what the top jockeys do. Yet he's riding up the bush every weekend, you know, so it goes to show the quality of riders we have around now. So it's interesting. What else we got? Took Jeffrey over to Mount Gambier, and he ran into a $1.50 shot, and it probably won like a $1.50 shot should run. I thought he was good. Went to the 1400, which was very good on a rain affected going, and he held his gallop right close to the line. So we can probably afford to, you know, bang him out and use a bit of petrol and know that he's going to run a solid 1400 now. And so he'll do a fair bit of racing over the next month. Nice little 3-year-old having his first start, Tobias, a little homebred by Ange Craddock, and he's a lovely little horse. He trialled up a couple of times last time in as a 2-year-old and showed us enough ability. Pulled up really shin sore, went to the paddock, had a good spell, and now he's come back in. He's had a couple of trials this time in, so fitness is good, education's good. He's ready to go to the races and be really, really competitive. He's still growing, this horse, so I just still expect him to sort of improve again next time in. But he's certainly showing us enough this time in to be sort of right around there at the place getters on Saturday. That's Tobias at Hamilton. Chapeau, he's in at Hamilton Saturday. He's an emergency, so he's a fair way down, so I'm not sure if he'll get a run, but he raced the other day and raced poorly and pulled up with a really sore fetlock, so we've treated the fetlock, and we really haven't let his legs touch the ground. We've just treadmilled him and swum him, and so we're back at the races with him. But fitness isn't a query at all. He's had fetlock surgery. He's got a bit of arthritis in a joint, and it's sort of really costing him. So hopefully he gets a run, and we can sort of see exactly where we're at with him. But that's Chapeau at Hamilton on Saturday. I think she rocks. I've got her in at Hamilton on Saturday. She's actually an emergency, so she hasn't got a run yet. But she only had one start for us, and she bled bad. Had a long spell, come back in, so she's on a bit of a road to recovery. Trialled okay the other day, although it was a pretty soft sort of trial. But she galloped up yesterday, galloped up good, so she's ready to go back to the races. So hopefully she'll get a run. I think she rocks at Hamilton Saturday. Miss Gossip Girl goes to the races. She has her first start at Kilmore on Tuesday. She nice sort of 3-year-old filly, little homebred job, but nice and sound, ready to go to the races. She's done a heap of trialling. She's educated right up. I was probably a bit disappointed on her trial at Donald the other day, but then she trialled again here at Geelong, and I thought it was a good trial. So she's ready to go back to the races, or go to the races, have her first start. Nice sort of blinkers on first start. We're not mucking around with her. We expect her to be sort of right in the firing line on Tuesday. We'll bang her out. We'll put her outside the leader, or certainly in the first 3, and then the fitness won't be a question. So she gets every chance. She'll be big odds, and she'll certainly go a lot better than what her odds will say. That's Miss Gossip Girl. Got us and them in at Kilmore on Tuesday. Look, he tossed up whether we give him another run or not. He's a big, sort of tall, skinny 3-year-old that's going to need a bit of time. But he raced the other day and was just horribly green, and we sort of spoke to the jockey about the best thing to do. And we just sort of contemplated going back to the races with him purely for education's sake, if nothing else. He's a big, staying sort of type who he just needs a little bit of time. But I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with him other than him being quite immature. So the more education we get into him this time in, I think the better. So I'm going to accept with him on Tuesday at Kilmore and run him. It's a 2,000 metre race, and I know it sounds a lot for second up in a 2,000 metre race, but he's a genuine staying horse. So certainly a 2,400 metre horse, so he will be guided probably by how he works on Saturday morning, whether we take him to the races. But I'm pretty keen to sort of give him one more run before we put him out. That's us and them at Kilmore on Tuesday.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse, a 3-year-old filly called Miss Gossip Girl. She's by Manhattan Rain out of Electric Shadow. She was the first mare that I'd bought online. Might have been a silly thing to do, might have started something, but anyway, she had a nice Manhattan Rain filly which is standing next to me. She was broken in. She's done all her work here at the farm. She's had lots of trials. She's certainly well trialled up. We were actually targeting her at the Warrnambool 2-year-old fillies race earlier on in the year, but she just sort of was not ready for it, so we tipped her out, and I'm glad we did, because she's come back a much bigger, stronger, better type, and yeah, she's certainly grown, and yeah, really happy with the condition that she's in it currently. Going to target her at Kilmore on Tuesday. There's a 1100 metre 3-year-old fillies race, so that's a real good kicking off point, I think, for her. She's had 4 trials this time in. I thought her trial at Colac was okay. It was probably the first time that she'd actually taken a sit. She's always been a horse that has shown really good gate speed. But it has sort of maybe been found wanting a little bit late. But I thought she was okay through the line at Colac, and then trialled her up at Geelong last week. And she's a horse that has always shown good gate speed. I thought she was nice and strong through the line, and yeah, the time was okay. So yeah, all roads lead to Kilmore on Tuesday. She's nice, healthy, good eating filly. She always licks her bowl clean, things like that, so that's always a good sign for a young horse. And yeah, a bit of a quirky filly. Probably a bit of shout out to Jason Webb. He does a lot of her riding, and yeah, she's not the easiest horse to go around, but he's got her going around real good, so that's really good. It'd be lovely to see her sort of run really well on Tuesday, and what sort of trip she'll get to, I'm not really sure, whether she's a 1200-1400 metre horse, but her mum sort of won over a mile. I don't know if she'll get that far, but yeah, I'd imagine she'll be a sort of 1200-1400 metre horse, the horse that sort of sits on the speed, and hopefully can win a couple of races for us.
That's it for another week, Kempsey Lodge. Thanks for watching. What about, they had the Australian Horse of the Year this week, and Pride of Jenny probably deservedly win it, but how stiff you got to be? Mr. Brightside didn't. I don't know what his race record is, but it was absolutely elite. And I think Ben Hayes still thinks he won the Cox Plate, but and not to win the Horse of the Year. So anyway, probably goes to show how good Pride of Jenny is, and they'll just keep bashing each other around for the next couple of years, I suppose. Certainly, he's a ripping horse, that Mr. Brightside. He just keeps lining up, and she's the way they ride her is pretty exciting for racing. So I'm not sure when they'll probably line up in the Cox Plate against each other in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, pretty exciting, the Spring Carnival. What have we got? Couple of nice young horses having their first start. Probably Tobias, he's well trialled up. He's still pretty raw, but he'll be more than competitive at Hamilton on Saturday. And interesting filly, Miss Gossip Girl. She's interesting horse because wasn't really showing me a lot, and then give it a couple of trials and it come on. And as far as horses training on in the stable, geez, it's trained on. It'll present as good a horse as any horse will present at the races on Tuesday. That's for sure. So let's hope it draws a nice gate and gets a fair chance. Till next week. See you later. Okay, Tobias has his first start. Okay, nice little 3-year-old having his... I don't know what I'm sneezing for. I'll start again.